A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Corey Melanie, and I'm the Surgeon of Arms for tonight. Well, welcome to each of you, especially those who are first time joining our club. Welcome to Singapore International Dynamic Speakers. We are 100% online Toastmaster Club in Singapore. We are always meet every Friday online at 9 p.m. Singapore time. I encourage you to open your video camera if you haven't to, so we could see each other's faces and engage better. Tonight time theme is three theories are better than one. According to the Professor Harvard of Education, William Perry Jr., to have an idea of what is going on in a situation, you need to have at least three good theories. So without a further ado, I will hand over to Mr. Club President Willie Loh to give an opening speech.
Thank you, Sergeant of Arms, Toastmaster Coney. The idea here is that one theory traps you in your own thinking, your own domain. Overconfidence is one old opinion that can be an obstacle to learning. With two theories, you can begin to see more, another side to a situation. Yet, two theories are limited as they can lead to a simple reduction and conclusion. Both about black and white, binary thinking. With three or more theories in play, you begin to see the nows. Your mind becomes open to the fact that there are more explanations to what's going on, giving you a more complete picture. By taking more into account, you can create deeper understanding and make decisions more in line with what is really going on. You can, of course, take it too far and get caught up in all sorts of mind games and become mere over analyzing. This is generally our problem. However, we tend to jump to generalization and oversimplify without a clear understanding of reality, thus repeating the same old technique. We need to cast a wider net, asking more and different questions. Contrary theory, Perry thought it was worth nothing. The wisdom doesn't count for the theory. The theory counts for the wisdom, and the wisdom counts for the defeat of all attractive alternative. And in a consideration though, with all this theory, it will be a good thing, of course, to keep an open mind. But the problem with an open mind is that so graphic leadership now. Let me bring you. Many of you have heard about this term called three quotes. What is three quotes here? Means that you get three quotations for three companies, and then for that, you all match according to the best figure that the company that give you to you, and they are awarded the tender. But sometimes some company could simplify it, they have only two quotes. So with two quotes, they only have a yes or no. So sometimes you cannot, even with the two quotes, you cannot give the comparison because it's not clear. So the best way is have three quotes. So it's apply three types of theory, whether is it a logical, illogical, or another side of the story. So today's message is three quotes, three theory is better than one. It's better than one theory that we used to have. Although one theory is for easy, is having the best solution. I mean a fast solution, but a fast solution doesn't mean it's the best decision. Over to Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Alicia.
Thank you, Club President Willie Low, for sharing us the 3 theories is better than 1. Indeed, in our daily life, we often have this thing that we face when we are thinking. Use 1 theory, 2 theory, or 3 theories. So our dear Club President has shown us that instead of 1 theory, let's practice having at least 3 theory. Open our thinking pattern to a more divergent pattern, which is more open. At the end of the day, this openness enables you to eliminate the different theories and at the end of the day, come up with the right one. Well, of course, you can go more than 3, but you'll be playing a lot of mind games. So back to the program at hand. I'm Alicia Chia, your friendly Toastmaster of the day tonight. And my role is to lead the meeting and ensure we have an enriching meeting. But before we commence our meeting, I would like to introduce my other appointment holders. You have already met our friendly Sergeant at Arms, Corey. Corey, can you tell us what you'll be doing behind the scenes?
For Sergeant of Arms, or to introduce the meetings and to give a warm opening to everybody.
All right, thank you, excellent. Now next, we will move on to our other appointment holder, which is the R counter, which is done by our Toastmaster Noriko Tadami. Noriko, can you please share with us what your role entails you to do?
Thank you, Alicia. Good evening, everyone. My role tonight is the R counter. This is my second time as this role. And what should I do tonight is to count the number of unnecessary sound like, like these sounds and words, and then count your words, numbers, and report at the end of the evening, at the end of this meeting. Thank you. Back to Alicia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noriko. Now, we also have this friendly person that will be our timer, Toastmaster Diraj. Toastmaster Diraj, can you share with us what your role as a timer entails you to?
Thank you, Toastmaster, today. So my role entitles me to basically keep track of every single one of your times. So at a certain amount, my face will flash to 3 different colors as what you're seeing right now. And that is my role, to make sure everyone keeps in time and everyone stays on time. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diraj. And a warm welcome for our fellow appointment holders. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, before we commence our meeting tonight, first like to let everybody know that when a speaker is speaking, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself, right? Because this meeting is recorded. So if you're speaking at the same time with the speaker, then the recording will be affected. Tonight, we have a very exciting program. The first segment is the prepared speeches, where we have 3 very well advanced speakers who will be sharing with us their project speeches. Then we have a break, and which will be followed by the better listening segment, which is the evaluation segment. But there's a slight change in our program tonight. The third segment is supposed to be an administrative training segment. However, as Murphy Law goes, anything bad can happen, will happen. Unfortunately, our trainer for that segment is having technical issues with the internet. And so she's unable to come tonight. I know everyone was so eager to attend this meeting because of the admin training, but nevertheless, we are going to make it even more interesting and exciting for you at the next meeting where we have our admin training. And this time it's going to be interactive, not just a speaker training you, and you will be having all the fun. So without much ado, let us commence the meeting with the first segment. The first speaker will be DTM Toastmaster Kanan Sankara. He will be delivering his speech from the Innovative Planning Level 1 Mastering Fundamentals, and he'll be moving on to his second speech from the Evaluation and Feedback Project. So before we introduce our speaker, I would like to invite his evaluator to share with us the project, the purpose statement. Can I invite Toastmaster Ahmad Nahasim?
Yes.
Over to you, Toastmaster Ahmad.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alicia. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to second speech. And other purpose is for the member to demonstrate that he has applied the feedback received from the first speech. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmad. So our Toastmaster DTM Kanan Sankara will be speaking on the second speech from the Evaluation and Feedback segment. And the speech title is What's Next? What's next? Certainly, after a tumultuous 2020, what is next? Precisely. So let's have a round of applause to invite Toastmaster Kanan Sankara to share with us what's next. Over to you, Toastmaster Kanan.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. For the benefit of evaluator, I want to say my feedback from the previous project is that I need to provide pauses in between because I used to speak faster. That was the observation the previous evaluator had. So that is the only one thing I need to incorporate, but you can give me an overall evaluation. The timer can start now. Fellow Toastmasters, I am going to talk about myself, and I want to share my journey from the birth till date. I'm a village person. I'm a village boy. I used to swim in the river. Unlike in United States, in India, we can swim in the river. We can go climb the tree and jump on the river and then swim. And then we can walk on the paddy fields, and then we can run, and then we can play all sorts of things. We can do all sorts of mischiefs. When I was 14, my father retired and my brother had to take care of us. In India at that time, the culture is the sons should take care of the family. My eldest brother asked us to move to Chennai, which is the capital of my state. And then I continued my studies. In India at that time, the studies are based for employment. We need to get a job when we become 18, 19, 20, so that we can earn for the family. When I became 18, I learned typewriting and shorthand. I thought those skills may be handy. And then I went for an interview. At that time, IT was booming in India. I was recruited by Tata Consultancy Services. They did an aptitude test and I did very well on those aptitude tests and I was shortlisted. The only reason I was selected because they thought this guy is a training programmer. When he has a free time, he can also do the typewriting and take in notes from the managers because I know typewriting and shorthand at that time. So that skill, which I thought will not be useful, became handy and got me the job. After becoming the IT, I moved from different parts of the world. I went to Middle East, I went to Far East, I went to Australia, and then eventually I migrated to US. While I was in USA, I used to be a judge for the science fair contest. For the people who do not know what is a science fair, this is for the kids to practice in any discipline of science, maths, technology. I used to help those kids to win many awards at the international level. It is called IEF award. I used to help every kid. Still, I'm doing that. I used to be a judge on the science fair, on the math, science, technology at a state level, district level, and at international level. This helped me to help the kids. And I like that. I like to help everyone. Fellow Toastmasters, 7 years ago, my son told me, Dad, you are making so many grammar mistakes. You need to join the Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, you may be surprised it should be the other way. My son joined the Toastmaster first. He used to get many awards, and then he asked me to join the Toastmaster. Here I am, I joined the Toastmasters. I used to help many clubs. After becoming a DTM, I thought that I have to continue helping. I became club coach. I became pathways trainer, not for one district, for 3 districts, District 18, District 21, and District U. I helped many clubs from the out of control situation to the distinguished status. I have even helped the club that had 3 members and at a delinquent status. And then I tried to help them build the good practices and then made that club distinguished. Till today, District 18 asked me, hey, Kanan, can you help this club? Can you help this club? Like that, they are asking me. I have great friends like Willie, I am also trying to take the best practices from other clubs like Singapore clubs and try to incorporate that in the sinking clubs. I used to run workshop on pathways to various districts, and I used to help the clubs. If you do not know pathways, call me. I have 3 levels. One is a basic level, intermediate level, and then an advanced level. So I could help the club in understanding what is the pathways and what they can do for the club. Is that means I know everything? No. I am also learning on a daily basis. I learn the best practices from other clubs. Fellow Toastmasters, now I am at a stage. I don't know what to do next. What can I do? I am running workshop, I'm training the people, but if you think that I can be of any helpful to any club, I want to do that. I want to be a club coach. I want to help any individuals that may have issues. I am willing to help them. I am willing to help any club or any individual on anything in Toastmaster or at any science fair if your kids have challenge. That is what my passion, and I would like to continue, and I would like to be successful. And if you have any suggestion, fellow Toastmasters, please help me. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanan Shankara, for sharing with us despite your vast achievements in Toastmaster and your personal, professional life. Sometimes most of us will be stuck what to do next. But you have shown to us that you are willing to share what you have achieved to help others. And that is very inspiring. So I hope everyone out there no matter how successful you are in your career and personal life, you could do the thing just like Toastmaster Kanan. Share with others who are struggling, and there is your purpose in life. Now let's move on to the second speaker. The second speaker will be attempting and delivering a speech from the non-pathway manual. In fact, this is a very interesting speech, right? And before I introduce her, I would like to invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Thomas Chen, to share with us the purpose statement. Thomas, please.
All right, so the purpose of this speech is defined by the member, and the member may present a well-organized, well-supported speech. And I presume that Joan is preparing for a contest, so I am going to evaluate her accordingly to contest standard. All the best and have fun, Joan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen. Toastmaster Joan. She is a mother of two and currently is residing in Switzerland. Not only is she a member of Singapore SGI Dynamic Speakers Club, she's also a member of another two Swiss clubs, Toastmaster clubs in Switzerland. Now, her speech title is Good Enough. And it's all about, if it's good enough for my daughter, it's good enough for me. So let us all welcome Toastmaster Joan D'Souza. Good enough.
Can you hear and see me? Am I loud enough? Okay. Okay. June 5th, 2005. My heart was beating. My brain was throbbing. I paced up and down. President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, do you know what was so nerve-wracking? The nerve-wracking day for any parent. Report cards were out. I kept checking my mailbox. And finally, I checked my mailbox and saw an envelope. With trembling hands, I opened the envelope and freaked out. Called my husband, Levin. Rachel will never become a doctor with these grades. Rachel was starting kindergarten next year. Meanwhile, Rachel, who was happily playing with her Barbie next door, ran up to me, hearing my cry, and asked me eagerly, Mom, were my grades good enough? My voice just trembled. Yes, honey, as long as we've practiced hard enough. Now, what went wrong? We practiced our numbers and our alphabets for hours for the past week. I saw her sorrowful eyes and her angelic smile and said to myself, I just decided, are doctors and lawyers and engineers the only profession in this world? I'm a modern mom. I'm going to give my child a complete autonomy and have her decide what she wants to pursue. I'm not going to constantly push my child. So, a few years down the road, she picked music. We saw that she was musically aligned. Excited that I was, I gave her 2 choices, violin or piano. After all, I was supporting her dreams. Finally, she picked violin, and I saw Elton John in my dreams. Soon, we decided to sign up for contests. Contest after contest, and we practiced for hours, sometimes for 2 hours, sometimes for 3 hours. Practice makes you perfect, Rachel. We reap as we sow. My voice just thundered. Soon, we signed up for a very prestigious contest. And we decided to play the song, Saints Go Marching In. Have you all heard that song? It's a beautiful song, correct? On the day of the contest, we galloped in like saints. Saints go marching in. And Rachel's name was called out, and she galloped in front of all the audience and popped in the cushion like a queen and played heavenly like an angel. Saints go marching in. It was beautiful. Contest ended. Winners announced. First place, Sarah. Second place, John. Third place, Matthew. There was an uproar in the room. Applaud, and everyone was screaming and shouting. Balloons were falling from the rooftop like stars from the heaven, while I sat behind with my mind just blank. Elton John just vanished from my dream. Rachel walked up to me and asked me, "Mom, was that good enough?" My voice trembled. "Honey, as long as we've practiced hard enough." A few years down the road, Rachel was aligned again creatively. And we picked drawing. Again, we hired tutors, brought for us stencils and drawing books. Her last teacher was just amazing. She downloaded papers and wanted Rachel to draw exactly how she wanted to draw. Soon, Rachel started drawing as a 5th grader, although she was in 3rd grade. We were so excited that she was growing at her own pace. And, for math also, we went for vacations and we carried our math books with us. We didn't want to waste any time, right? Once, what do we do though? If we get bored, we need something to do. Once Rachel just dropped her book on the floor and said, "Mom, we don't have to use each and every minute of our time so productively." But I said, "Agree with you, Rachel. We reap as we sow." Now we are in high school and we have just 6 months to go. Soon Rachel will leave home. The school has asked us to do a memory book, to write events, stories, and stick pictures so that the kids have something to do and bounce back to life during their hard times. Man, I sit down with the memory book. I scratch my brain, trying hard to pen down my thoughts. And what do I see? I see visions of contest after contest, of piano practice, of math and drawing. And my voice is just thundering in my ears. Practice makes you perfect, Rachel. We reap as we sow. Fellow Toastmasters, were these memories good enough? Running in the park with hands held would have been good enough. Playing in the snow and making snow castles would have been good enough. Just laying on the sand, on the seashore with a back and gazing, stars and moon and heads touching would have been good enough too. Sometimes absolutely doing nothing and goofing would have been good enough. I step back today and ask each of my fellow Toastmasters, what is good enough for you? Back to you, TMD. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joan D'Souza, for being such a nice mom. For me, I had trophy parents. It's never good enough for them. So it's a good thing that we have parents like you that recognizes the potential of their children. So I'll highly encourage every parent out there to have realistic expectations and to recognize the awesome talents that your children have. That should be good enough for you and for them as well. Now let us move on to the third and final speaker. Our third and final speaker will be delivering a speech from the Visionary Communication Pathway and is level 5 demonstrating expertise. The speaker will be delivering on the project Prepare to Speak Professionally. Before I introduce the speaker, I would like to invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Jennifer Lim, to share with us the purpose statement. Over to you, Toastmaster Jennifer.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Alicia. The purpose statement for Angela's speech. This project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. All the best, Angela. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Hello, can I share my screen?
Yes, you can share the screen.
Can you see a screen with a slide saying hello on it? Good. The timer can start now. Hello, everybody. Hola, that's Spanish. Buongiorno is Italian. Guten Tag, German. Ciao, Italian. Aloha, what they say in Hawaii. Selamat pagi, not sure I pronounced it right, but it's from Malaysian. Oh, and of course, ni hao. Sounds a bit British, doesn't it? I wish I could give you my entire speech in Chinese, but alas, I wasted 20 years, the last 20 years of my life, not learning Chinese. I have just started. I don't want you to make the same mistake. I want you to be bilingual in English and Chinese. Better still, I want you to speak all the 4 languages which are spoken in Singapore and are the official languages. First of all, I would like to know, hands up if you're already bilinguals, can speak to somebody in the street in at least 2 languages. Perhaps I should ask, first of all, how many of you can only speak 1 language? How many of you can speak 2 languages? Hold up 2 fingers if you can speak 2. Hold up 3 fingers if you can speak 3. Excellent. 4 fingers if you can speak 4. Wave if you can speak more than 4. Right. My aim is to get everybody speaking 4. It's obviously possible. The absolute minimum would be 2. Why 2? Because they have discovered, and probably a lot of you know this, that you can ward off Alzheimer's for up to 5 years if you are bilingual. This was done on a study of nuns in a closed community where they tested them and compared the bilingual people with those who weren't bilingual over in America. And this has been proven 2 or 3 times by different studies. So there's a very good reason for being bilingual. So far, so good. A lot of people learn 2 languages in school. In the olden days, everybody learned Latin and Greek and at least 1 foreign language. But you need to keep it up in order to be able to converse. Now, let me show you the slides I've prepared because this will amuse you. First of all, I've shown you the hello slides, and I think you probably recognize more than 2 of these, at least 4 of them, which shows you that you have the ability to learn 4 or more languages. I'm trying to move on. Wait a minute. Here we go. So 6, can you say hello in 6 languages? For example, from Europe, hello, bonjour, guten Tag, ciao, hola, hola, almost the same Portuguese. And then we come to Chinese, we've already heard, ni hao, Japanese, konnichiwa, Tamil is a bit more difficult, vanakam, Malay, selamat pagi, that's got us up to 10 already. Shalom and salam, almost the same, Hebrew and Arabic, that's 12. Come on, you're all polyglots. That means people who speak 12 languages. You are brilliant, I'm very impressed. Let's move on, what's next? Welcome, I heard a song. It was sung by Joel Grey in the film Cabaret, and he sang, Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. And I've remembered ever since that Willkommen is German for welcome and bienvenue is French for welcome. And learning through songs is a very good, painless way to learn. I also learned no in Russian from a song, Niet, 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 not anymore. Niet, 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 not anymore. And they kept repeating this until by the end of the song, you knew the word niet was Russian for no. I've never forgotten it or the song. So that's easy to do. Now, I'll tell you some really serious things. You need languages in an emergency. I was in London on a station, Euston Station, and there was a bomb scare. And there was an announcement only in English telling everybody, leave the station straight away, go up the escalators. Everybody starts going up the escalators, and then down the escalators come a group of foreign girls. They're chattering away. I don't understand the language, but I stop them. And I say to them in French, parlez-vous français? Il faut sortir. Do you speak French? You must leave. Ah, they didn't speak it. Eventually, somebody at the back caught up and she spoke French. They were Spanish speaking. They didn't speak English. I didn't speak Spanish. I was delayed for 5 minutes trying to get them to understand they had to leave the station. Luckily, the bomb scare was just a threat. Somebody had left a package and it turned out to be okay. But what if it hadn't been okay? I then realized I need to learn Spanish, and I'm now learning Spanish on Duolingo. Now, let me tell you a story, a very serious story with a kind of happy ending. In World War II, there was a lady who survived the Holocaust. She survived one of the big concentration camps, Auschwitz, where thousands, some say millions of people were killed. And she survived because she was a translator. She was able to translate, which was her profession, into 3 or 4 different languages. And the Germans, if they point a gun at you and say, do this, Even if you're desperate to save your life, if you don't understand them, you won't do what they say. So they needed translators, and they had people from different countries arriving to be killed every day. And she was needed as a translator. Everyone else was being killed, but she survived because she could translate. So there's a serious story, which I've never forgotten, of someone who saved their life because the wicked, dangerous people in charge needed a translator. Now, let me go on. 2 more reasons. Russian. Why? Who needs Russian? I was on my way to Japan with a group of students, and I was pulling my suitcase along, struggling away. They all turned a corner and the train came in and went past. I went round the corner and my group had vanished. And I said to a Russian, sprechen Sie Deutsch? Do you speak German? My group, verlassen, lost. He didn't speak German, I didn't speak Russian. I was stuck in the middle of Russia, unable to speak Russian, and the ticket for the train was with the leader of the group who had disappeared. I burst into tears. The assistant called me, took me around the corner, and there was a cafe. The reason why they disappeared was not because they'd got on the train, they'd gone into the cafe to wait. And then I realized I needed to learn Russian, the Russian alphabet, and I'm still learning it, but I'm more or less there. Now, on a more practical level, you need toilets, don't you? Women and men. I thought I knew women's toilet and men's toilet. At least I was very clever. I copied down the sign for the men's and the ladies. Gotcha, I got it. So the next time, but you don't need to copy down the whole sign. You just copy down a bit of the sign, and the bit that's just a bit of it so you can recognize it. So I copied down a bit of the sign. And then 2 hours later, I saw a toilet. I got the bit of the sign that was from the ladies' toilet, and I went in and there were men in it. I retreated and I went downstairs and I spoke to the guy and I said, "What's the matter? This is the sign for the ladies' toilet. Why were the men in the ladies' toilet? What went wrong?" And she looked at it and I said, "Does that say ladies' toilet?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "I don't know." So we went back and we looked at it and I pointed and there was a sign that was the same as what I'd written down. What I had written down was the word toilet. Not ladies, not gents, just toilet. So that was why I'd gone in the wrong one. You have to know the word for ladies and the word for men. I've now got it. At least I think I have. So next time you go looking for the toilet, make sure you recognize the sign for toilet or you could end up in an embarrassing situation. Now, Boy Scouts of America are given badges when they have learnt a language. My dream is that everybody will wear a badge with their language. Then if you're in a situation like I was in on the station with a bomb scare and an alert, you could easily find somebody else who speaks your language who can help you. The absolute minimum would be that every policeman, every ambulance worker, and everybody in a public building should show which languages they speak. This has already been done. It was done at the Olympics because there were so many foreign people arriving. It has also been done in some countries. For example, in Canada, to get a government job in the capital, you have to speak both French and English because everybody in Montreal speaks French. They're a bit anti-English. They don't want their language to be submerged by English. And people in Toronto speak English but very little French. So government employees must be bilingual. So if all the government employees have to be bilingual, we could go one better in Singapore, make sure everyone is bilingual, then maybe a year or two later trilingual, and a year or two later quadrilingual. It's possible. There are already at least 2 countries where people speak 4 languages. Can anybody guess? Any suggestions? One of the obvious ones is Switzerland, where they speak Italian, French, German, and Romansh. Other countries also have 3 or 4 languages, but it can be done. Now let's go back to my slides and move on. Polyglots. In fact, people in previous eras, the educated people, spoke more languages mostly than we do. Queen Victoria spoke 5 languages. She was bilingual in English and German, where she grew up in Germany, and her husband Albert spoke German. She also knew Latin, French, and Italian. American President Jefferson spoke 6 languages. Everybody in those days learnt either Greek or Latin. He knew Greek, Latin, English, plus French, Spanish, and Italian. And Spanish and Italian are very similar. Lee Kuan Yew spoke 6 languages: English, Mandarin, Hokkien, Malay, Japanese, and Latin. Now, how do people do it? One American president who only spoke 2 languages, but President Jimmy Carter practiced his Spanish with his wife, Rosalind, every night by reading the Bible in Spanish. I'll go back to the previous slide. Santa Biblia. Isn't it easy? Santia, saint, sanctuary, holy. Biblia, book, Bible. So easy. So if you were religious, you could read the Bible in another language, Spanish or another language, every night, like this president did, and learned to be fluent in Spanish. So there are lots of ways of learning languages. Timer, I can't see any indication of the time. Can you give me a clue as to how far I am? Six minutes to go? Right, good. So you're beginning to get the idea that you already know lots of words in foreign languages, that lots of people can do it, and there's more than one way to do it. I'm just trying to move my slide. Right. Now, countries that speak more than one language, apart from Singapore's 4, Switzerland's 4, and Canada's 2, Belgium, of course, has French and Dutch. And if you travel there, you'll see all the road signs in the 2 languages. Now, Latin. Why would anyone bother with Latin? I learnt Latin at school, and I was really upset that I was not able to learn French or German, which are practical languages people spoke. Sorry, I wasn't able to learn German and Spanish. I learnt Latin. Nobody speaks Latin. The only place you see it is on gravestones. However, 2 very useful things from Latin. Numbers. I'm sure you all know the numbers. Here are the numbers. 1 is an upright, 2, 2 uprights, 3, 3 uprights. Then when it came to learning Chinese, I discovered something exciting. The Chinese number for 1 is the same thing turned sideways. The Chinese for 2 is the same thing, turned sideways. And the Chinese for 3 is the same thing, turned sideways, horizontally. So my learning the Roman numbers wasn't so silly after all. Now, Arabic. Why would anybody bother with Arabic? It's a very handy language in lots of countries. Egypt, Jordan, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Tunisia, and United Arab Emirates, where Dubai is a very good stopover on the way to Australia. And right at the moment, my son and daughter-in-law could not go on their honeymoon anywhere else except Dubai. So they went to Dubai, where Arabic was useful. Hebrew. Why would anyone bother with the outdated language of Hebrew? Arabic and Hebrew are very similar. Shalom, salam, S-L-M. The letters are the same, just the vowels move around a bit. You already know salam, Jerusalem, salam. It's the city of peace. Shalom and salam mean peace. I was very surprised when I went to a Toastmasters club called Toastmasters in Christ, which was a Christian group, and they kept on showing Hebrew words. And I said to Jackie, who was running the group, where did you learn all this Hebrew? And he had trained to be a priest, and priests learn Latin and Greek. Latin, Ave Maria, Our Mary, everybody knows that. Hebrew, you think you don't know any. You do know at least 4 words. Do you know cherub and cherubim? Cherub, those little cute babies in the paintings on the church rooftops inside the roof. Cherubim is plural. Im is plural. And seraph and seraphim, the seraphs are the one that blow the horns. Seraph, seraphim, seraphim is plural. Something else you already know in Hebrew, Bethlehem. Beth is Bet or Beth is a building, and Bethlehem is the building of bread. So Bethlehem was a city which started off with a bakery. Bethlehem. Once you've learnt it once, it sticks. Some of these words just stick. Jerusalem, Salem, peace. Bethlehem, house of peace. Now let me move on. Greek. You could learn Greek because of the mathematical symbols. I thought I would never master Greek. Then I went to Athens and I sat in the coach and we kept going past sign after sign, and they all had these big circles with the line across, a bit like the Chinese sign with a line across, which is China, I mean central. And I said to somebody, what's that? And they said, it's the letter theta. And I said, what's it doing on the sign? It's the word Athens. So then I learnt the Greek word for theta, because every time I went past a signpost, I saw the word Athens with theta in the middle. Of course, my husband had no trouble with theta because it's a mathematical sign. So it's a real pleasure when you go to another country and you find you're starting to read the signs, recognize the name of the capital city. It is such fun. I hope you're now getting enthused about learning languages as I am. What can you do next? I belong to a group on Facebook called Polyglots, and they're constantly asking each other, how do you say hello in your language? How do I pronounce this? is this sentence written correctly? I'm on there and I get the messages coming in every day. That's great fun. I also use, I'm learning Chinese from Chinesey and from Hello Chinese and from Duolingo and also from Earworms. I've also got a book called the Foreign Domestic Workers book, which has languages you can't find anywhere else, which are very common here. It has Chinese, Tamil, Bahasa from Indonesia, and Bengali, and from Myanmar, all in this one book. So if you've got a maid, you should be learning her language, but you can translate. I hope I've inspired you and you will learn 4 languages and encourage your children and grandchildren and friends to learn the language. Buddy up with somebody and learn the language. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angela, for sharing with us so many languages, the benefits of being a, how would you put it, duolingual linguist. Well, now I'm really inspired to go learn more languages because now I feel like, oh, bilingual is not enough. So the 3 theories really do have an effect and very useful. In fact, we should move beyond 3 theories to multilingual theories, but we might get caught in the mind game. But nevertheless, thank you for sharing with us such an inspiring speech. We have come to the end of the first segment, the better prepared speeches. Now, I'm sure everybody is a bit tired and we will be having a 10-minute break. And following which, because this club is so dynamic, our program has just dynamically changed. And we have included table topics as the second segment. And table topics will be led by none other than our Toastmaster DTN Kanan Shankara. So now the time is 10:10. Let us have 10-minute break and come back at 10:20 Singapore time. If you're from anywhere in the world, just add another 10 minutes. So see you later. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone had a very good break. Well, now into our second segment, the table topic segment, where you're thinking on your feet. Now, I'm very happy to introduce our table topic master. It's none other than DTM Toastmaster Kanan Shankara. And Kanan Shankara is a Toastmaster who aims to speak without any grammatical errors. So what a wonderful target and goal. Now, without much ado, I'll hand over to Toastmaster DTM Kanan Shankara. Over to you, Kanan.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Today's table topics is going to be slightly different. It is an impromptu table topic session, so we do not have any presentation. We are not going to follow any theme, but all the questions are going to be impromptu. I'm going to pick random questions, so you do not know what questions you are going to get, and I also do not know what questions I'm going to ask. That is going to be a challenge. Anyhow, let us ask our timer to tell the timing parameters for the benefit of everyone.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. All right, so the timing sequence for this one is 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, this face will disappear and you will see green. At 1.5, yellow. At 2 minutes, during which you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Otherwise, you'll get this lovely image here, which says time's up. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Back to you, Table Toastmaster.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, there is no right or wrong in the table topics. If you do not want to answer the question directly, you can just tell whatever you feel, and then you can conclude the table topic session instead of saying, I can't speak on that particular topic. Remember, there is no right or wrong. You can have your own view. Nobody can question on that. Now, I'm going to ask a volunteer who is ready to volunteer for the first table topics.
Me.
Okay. There are two people who have volunteered, so I'm going to ask one by one. First, I will ask Yusuf. Second, I will ask Bruce. Okay. Yusuf, I'm going to ask you this question. If you need to remember one thing, what will it be? If you need to remember only one thing, what will it be? Yusuf.
My wife. I will always remember her wherever I go, wherever I am. I would never forget her. Why? Because she is a good cook. She is a good shopper. She is a good talker. So I am going to miss her a lot. If I bring money of my salary, she would look at it and she would laugh. But by the middle of the month, she would be angry because I couldn't give her any more money because I said, it's gone. And she loves shopping so much. One thing that I cannot forget about her is the way she talks. She can talk and talk and talk and talk. Even though I don't listen, she will be talking, keep talking and talking. But that makes me miss her if I'm away from home. Isn't it? I mean, it's amazing. A lot of bad things happening with her, but lots of things I can remember her. I will remember always her all the time. Anytime I see something good in a shopping mall, I remember her. Every time I see somebody who was angry with the wife, I remember her. And, she is just everything. So that's a very good question for me. What I would remember is my wife. So all wives, be like my wife. So you will be remembered by all the husbands in the world. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yusuf. I could see the love and affection you have on your wife. What a fantastic table topics to start with. Thank you, Toastmaster Yusuf. I think any woman who listen to your speech would be very happy because they all want to hear the same thing. Thank you for that. Now I'm going to ask Bruce. Toastmaster Bruce, how would you describe your future in a sentence? How would you describe your future in a sentence? Toastmaster Bruce.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topics Master. That's a very powerful question, especially for 2021. I have to think about that, but I'll think quickly on my feet since I only have 2 minutes. One sentence will come to mind is being fully intentional with a very vivid vision of my future. A vivid future that matters in so many powerful ways, in the sense that we've looked at the last 12 months and it was so totally unexpected, way left field, so to speak. No one could have anticipated the last 12 months, but it has opened up a whole new possibility for all of us. And for many of us, particularly myself as a fellow Toastmaster, the opportunity to visit fellow clubs virtually has opened up whole new corridors for me in a way that I could not have expected. And I'm looking at 2021 in a way to make more friends, to meet new folks, to hear powerful presentations made by fellow Toastmasters throughout the world. And this is a wonderful opportunity for us to all step into a new space. One of the greatest challenges for me has been stepping into different time zones and trying to make sure I can make the adjustments properly, because I've been missing out on some good presentations. So one sentence totally dominates in my mind is a vivid vision, being intentional, and being open to new opportunities. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Bruce. Yes, yeah, vivid vision is very important. You articulated very well, Toastmaster Bruce. Without any vision, we will be going round and round like a headless chicken. Thank you for that. I really appreciate. Next, I need a volunteer. Thank you, Toastmaster John. Toastmaster John, are you comfortable in telling white lies? Are you comfortable in telling white lies? Toastmaster John. Do you know what is a white lie? Do you want me to define?
Yes, you can, but I think I know. But yeah, go ahead, please.
Go for it. Go for it. Go with your interpretation. That will be good.
Okay. All right. President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, I think I am very good in telling white lies. According to me, white lies is something which is very dynamic, and you can say something confidently and put in a little untrue words within a truthful statement. So this is what I understand about being deceptive. This is what I understand about white lies. Now, why do I say that I'm very good in white lies? For example, my daughter is always, I have two kids, as I said, and I'm always a very pushy mom, as I mentioned even in my speech, always demanding more and more from my children. So, and never happy with whatever they do. So the other day, and also quite stingy at times. So my daughters, the other day wanted something from me. And I said, I don't have money for that in my wallet when we went out shopping. So, and actually, I could have pulled my credit card out. I could have bought what they wanted. But I kept telling them, even if I use credit card and all, your father is not going to like it because it's not good to spend so much money. And I kept making them guilty. And it's not nice to pressurize him so much and spend so much money. And she actually didn't want anything a lot expensive, but I really wanted her to be the best version of herself, be much more humble and be more human and not spend too much money on lavish things. So I just told her a white lie that we shouldn't, I don't have that much money. So anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that, isn't this a white lie when you're trying to push our children to be at the best version? I don't think so, then it's a white lie, but it is, you're trying to make the child the best version of herself. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster John. White lie is a small lie that you tell about unimportant matters, which will not hurt any person. Basically, when you are doing business, you tell the lies, this product will work for a long time, those sort of things. It's all business lies or white lies, they call it. It's not a big deal. Thank you. You well articulated your answer. Who is the next one? Who is the next volunteer who can try the table topics? I don't know what questions you may get.
CJ.
CJ? I'm not able to see CJ. Okay.
He's there.
CJ, okay. CJ, I'm going to ask the question. Okay. Are you ready for that?
No.
What is the one opportunity that you believe that you have missed out when you are younger? What is the one opportunity you believe you missed out when you are younger? Toastmaster CJ.
A fantastic Friday, Club President, fellow Toastmaster, and distinguished guests. What is one opportunity that I have missed out? I find that I should have joined Toastmaster when I was young. This is because this is a very good platform for us to practice our communication and leadership skills to become a better speakers. I should have joined Toastmaster when I was even before 20 years old, not when I was so old, double the age, then I joined Toastmaster. Who knows? Maybe I will be the next world champion public speaker like Darren Tay. And maybe now my life will be different. I will be sharing, traveling around the world and giving workshops to people all over the world by giving them encouragement, inspiration, and motivation to make them hunger for knowledge to become a better person and a better self. As my favorite quote from Lorenzo Snow, be better today than you were yesterday. Be better tomorrow than you are today. So my fellow Toastmaster, keep learning, keep growing, keep improving. Before you go to sleep every night, ladies and gentlemen, please take up a diary book to show what you have learned today and write down 3 things that you have learned. And I believe that you will be a better communicator and better speaker. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster CJ. Yes, we all want to become better communicators and better Toastmasters. That is very nice. And you portrayed it very well. Thank you for that. Who is going to be our next volunteer?
Jen.
Huh?
Jen Chen.
Jen Chen. I'm not able to see. Jen, can you take the challenge, Jen?
She has been training for this.
What?
Jen? Okay. It is. I am going to. Are you ready for your question? Okay, this is a very easy question for you. How many hours do you watch the television and why? How many hours do you watch the television per week and why? I will say per week. How many hours you watch the television per week and why?
A fabulous Friday to everyone online, including our distinguished club president and fellow Toastmasters. How many hours of television do I watch a day or a week? Before I talk about how many hours of television I watch, can I have a show of hands? How many of us watch television on a daily basis? How many of us watch television on a weekly basis? Right, I see some. And how many of us watch television? Almost never. So be such a surprise to many of you then. My answer is, I don't watch any television at all in the week. Why so? When I was thinking about what are the habits that I want to inculcate in myself, and also as an example to my daughter, I asked myself, how many hours do I want to spend on social media and on television? The answer is 0. So I now make it a habit to not switch on the television at home where possible. And that has really enabled me to spend a lot more time doing a lot more things that bring me joy, such as joining Toastmasters club meetings. As a result, it has made me happier and it has made me more joyful because it allowed me to focus my efforts on things that allow me to grow. So my fellow Toastmasters, if you find yourself wondering, should you switch on the television? Think twice. Thank you. Back to you, Kanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jen. Yeah, I agree with you. You cannot believe what has been portrayed in the television, but it is fun to watch the same news put on two different channels because the same news is twisted and will be given by one channel one way and another channel in another way. That will be very interesting, but you do not have to believe that. That's what I would say. But interesting answer. Thank you, Toastmaster Jen. Who is our next volunteer? Toastmaster Ahmed. Toastmaster Ahmed, I don't know what I'm going to get for you. Yeah, this is good. What have you gained from your current job? What have you gained from your current job? Toastmaster Ahmed.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanan. The workplace is school. After we graduate from university, we can learn maybe from lecture, but we can learn from our boss, our college, and our friend that we can new skill, new experience, and of course, great motivational. In my experience, I gain new perspective, knowledge, and of course, new network. As journalist in pandemic era, I get more information about COVID-19, more detail, and sometimes more specific than common now. And of course, sometimes I can stress because every day I have to read and edit article about COVID-19, and COVID-19. Overexposure about COVID-19 improve my my consciousness about the COVID-19 is very dangerous, and I stopped working, I stopped vacation, and of course, I stay in my house more and more. I think the gain from my workplace is knowledge, skill, and network. Back to you, Toastmaster Kanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. Yes, everybody has to be worried about COVID. I understand what you are saying about the COVID and how it has impacted. Well done, Toastmaster Ahmed. Who is the next volunteer for the table topics?
Corey.
Huh?
Corey.
Corey, where is Corey?
I can volunteer myself too.
Toastmaster Corey, are you ready? Who do you secretly envy and why? Who do you secretly envy and why? Toastmaster Corey.
Thank you, Double Topic Master Canon. Very good evening, morning, or afternoon to fellow Toastmaster and their guests. Maybe the one person that I envy so much is my husband. Actually, my husband's personality is the opposite of mine. My personality is easygoing. I love outdoors, but I'm good at being alone actually. But my husband's personality is he likes indoor, he likes to talk, he has a lot of friends, and those who have spoken with him before is really like him, meaning like they really feel that they can open up with him, sharing a personal story or sharing a personal struggles or even challenges. And my husband can really give a very good advice to the person. So I really admire the way how my husband talk with people, how friendly he is also towards strangers or even some people that he met. I really want to have those kind of communication skills that currently I'm still improving and learning. And yeah, I feel that my husband is such a good example of how to be a good speaker. And not only good in speaking, but he also caring about those who speak for those who he's spoken with. So yeah, I will look forward to gain more communication skill and also learning more from my husband about how to care for other people and also how to give a good advice to those around him. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Kenan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Corey. It is indeed a fabulous Friday. You know why? Every Toastmaster is bringing emotion and talking about their spouse. That is really wonderful. All good words, whether it's Toastmaster Corey or Toastmaster Yusuf, are talking about their spouses and say they are inspired by them. Thank you. Really appreciate that. The love and affection that you are showing on your speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Corey. Who is the next one? Who is the next volunteer, please?
Chuling.
Sorry?
Chuling. Visitor
Julie.
Lee Chuling.
Julie, where is she? I'm just checking where she is.
She's by the sunset.
Okay. Ready? I'm going to ask the question, okay? What do you think is worth waiting for? What do you think it is worth waiting for? Toastmaster Ali.
W-A-I-T, waiting, right? Waiting for.
W-A-I-T-I-N-G, waiting, yes. You want me to type? I can type it here.
What do you think it is worth waiting for? Fellow Toastmasters, what do you think it is worth waiting for? I think it depends on every individual. If something is that you are treasured in your, there's something that you are treasured, your thinking is something that is treasured in your heart. I think time, there's a saying goes that time and tides wait for no man. So if you keep on waiting for time, that is not worth of it. But if you make use of the time, then make good use of the time, that is worth using it. So for the time, we shouldn't wait for it. We should be, to be worthwhile, we should make good use of it and to do and invest. Now, as we grow in time, as we age, so what is the next immediate plan you can set on your goal? Or maybe in next 5 years, 10 years down the road, we never know that the time that we use
is it worth living? Like Thomas always say that he like to impact someone, so he made a good use of his time. So we now, fellow Toastmasters, we all now make good use of time in this Toastmasters journey to learn and encourage and support each other. And this is worthwhile using time. So don't wait for time. Time waits no man. Back to you, Toastmaster, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lee. Yes, we have to utilize our time wisely, and you articulated very well. Yeah, wasting the time is not good. You need to use the time effectively. Thank you for that. Who is our next volunteer, please?
Dheeraj.
Dheeraj, our timer. Dheeraj. This is a simple question for you. What book has had the greatest influence on your life? What book has had the greatest influence on your life? Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Fellow Toastmasters, good evening. So what book has had a special influence in my life? For me, I'd have to say the book that I'm holding right now. This is Chicken Soup for the Soul. This was from 2015, 14, I'm not sure. But my dad bought this for me at a very young age, actually. We just initially bought it for fun. And when I bought it, I'll be honest, I didn't really give it much of a chance. I kind of just threw it aside and focused on my fiction book or whatever I was reading back in the day. But as I grew older, I started reading this more and more. And right now, this is one of those last few books that I have in physical form. Everything else I've moved to Kindle already. But why do I still have this in a physical form? Because it still has so many good, interesting stories that I always like reading, no matter what. And they always, as the title say, they always prove to be very helpful no matter how hard you're feeling. Whether you've had a bad day, whether you've had some kind of stressful day at work or something, I advise you to pick up one of these books from Chicken Soup for the Soul and just read something. And they make you just have a better outlook on life in general. They make you really feel, they make you laugh, they can make you cry, and so on and so forth. And I think this is one of those books which has really impacted my life over the past few years, actually. So yeah, I would really suggest getting any Chicken Soup for the Soul books. And if you have one of them, great, buy more. Back to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dheeraj. Yep, reading a book is always good. Reading books can change your life because there are so many great books, great motivating books, wrote influences, great knowledge on any topic. That will definitely help us. Reading a book is very, very good hobby, and we can definitely learn from that. Who is next? Thomas, we are missing you. Thomas, can I ask you a question? Without asking you, without Thomas Chen, the table.
I thought your name is Kana, not Kama.
Okay. No, it will have to come back to you eventually.
Yes. What's up?
Okay. Toastmaster Thomas, what are your top 5 personal values? What are your top 5 personal values? Thomas Chen.
All right, amazing day, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that's very generous of you giving me top 5 values to work on. And I would say at the end of the day, it's really not about so much about the personal values, but rather the values of life which we truly practice. And I will just mention one today, that is to give. Because the more we give, the more we receive. Ladies and gentlemen, in this current society, things may get very competitive, things may be very challenging, but it is because of this situation where we must learn to give as much as we can. And when we talk about giving, it do not need to be something with material attachment to it. It do not need to be something which is costly. It can be something as appreciative as thanking someone. It can be something as appreciative as commenting or having a conversation or providing a listening ear. That's how we can give to others, because when we give others, people will start to feel that we are authentic. People will start to feel that we are truly there to impact people and that we are truly there to connect with them. And it will certainly make the world a much better place when we learn about the giving spirit. And that's why earlier on, when I volunteer people to go up for table topics, it's not that, I am so-called saboing or volunteering them, but I'm giving them the opportunity to embark on this learning journey of table topics itself. So it's with good intentions that I'm giving it. But on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, really something for all of us to consider is to think about how we can value add others. Because I know sometimes we will want to take, we will want to have some benefits, we want to have some advantages. I truly understand we are all humans, we want the benefit itself. But when we reverse the thinking, when we start to see how we can give to people with what we know, with the knowledge we have, with the experience we have, give them so that they can benefit from it, they will certainly appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, when a candle lights up another candle, it does not diminish in flame. Instead, it makes the whole place brighter. So spread positivity, spread value, spread impact, and that's how we can truly live life to the fullest. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen. I really liked your answer. Yes, spread your knowledge to others. That is a great thing to have. That's a great personal value. Thank you for that. In the interest of time, I'm going to ask only one more volunteer. I need one more volunteer. This will be the final question. Who will take this question?
Angela volunteer.
Angela, sorry, Angela.
You really volunteer, not I volunteer.
Toastmaster Angela, are you ready?
Sorry, Kana, we have finished. Kana.
Huh?
We have 10 speakers already.
Okay.
Oh, I was told. Okay. Sorry. So this will be the final question, or it's done?
It's done. After Thomas, it's done.
Okay. Thank you all for volunteering for the today's table topic. This was impromptu. I picked the questions at random. Thank you for answering. And I'm now going to yield the virtual lectern back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for such an entertaining, fun, and challenging table topic segment. So everyone, please vote for your best table topic speaker. We'll give you 2 minutes to vote. We have reached 68%. Please put in your votes. And I see our timer has put in the timings for all the table topic speakers. And I'm very happy and pleased to say that everyone spoke within the time frame allocated. So congratulations to all the speakers. Now we're almost done. We have 87%. So for all of you out there who have not posted your vote, please do so. Yes, please do put in your votes because it's a very tight race out there, even though we have so many speakers.
We had so many great speakers. Thank you.
If you're stuck and you cannot decide which speaker is best, always use the 3 theories is better than 1 method, and you'll probably be able to come up with the best speaker that you think is the best. Really, we are short of a few more votes.
It's a very close race.
Yes. It sure is a close race. That's why I'm urging all those who have not voted to please put in your votes. All right.
Alicia, once the votes are in, do you need to leave the White House?
No, I don't need to leave the White House. Well, thank you for that interesting question. Well, I have to thank everyone for participating in the table topic, and also thank the table topic master, Kanan Shankara, for providing such an entertaining table topic segment. So I'm very happy to tell everyone that we'll have another 10-minute break so that our evaluators can prepare for the evaluation speeches. So the time now is 11:01. Please be back by 11:11 or 10 minutes from anywhere you are. Thank you. Turn. Welcome back, everyone, for our third and final segment, the Better Listening segment, where our evaluators have listened to all those wonderful speeches and are now ready to present the evaluation speeches. So first up, we have our first evaluator, Toastmaster Ahmad Nohasim. He will be evaluating Toastmaster Kanan Shankara's speech, which was titled, What's Next? For our Toastmaster Ahmad Nohasim, he believes on dream power. He wants to change disadvantages to be a new opportunity. Never give up. So let us put our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Ahmad Nohasim. Over to you, Ahmad.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alicia. Kanan, thank you for your wonderful speech. You speak about your transformation from a child in India to global man in the United States, and who you has a vision beyond nation. You have transformed from an Indian person into global man. The title, What is Next, is good question for us when we feel we have a lot of experience and need new challenge. I like your speech that you are looking for ideas or new ideas on how to help others to improve capability in Toastmaster community. You have a great vision to help others. You have organized regular meeting in Toastmaster Club, including workshop and training. Overall, your speech is well organized and well structured in chronological style. You separated the story at least into two segments. The first story is about your childhood in India, and the second story when you decided to migrate to US. As non-native English, I can understand your speech because your speed is not too fast and the message is clear. I challenge you. I would like to challenge you on using the vocal variety. It is important to give important point in your speech. For example, you can the vocal variety when you have a dialogue with your son who advise you to join Toastmaster. If you do it, the audience will get a better impression of your message that the join Toastmaster is the best decision to reduce grammatical mistake and improve public speaking. That is motivational and educational message for the audience. And finally, your speech is useful I encourage you to use the vocabulary to improve impression of your speech. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Alicia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmad Nohasim, for such a wonderful, detailed, and analytical evaluation of DTM Toastmaster Kanan Shankara's speech. Next up. Well, we have another evaluator, and this evaluator is none other than our Toastmaster, Thomas Chen. Thomas is an international speaker who has spoken in countries such as Australia, Philippines, Indonesia, Hong Kong, China, India, all the way to so many countries, including USA. And tonight, he will be evaluating Toastmaster John D'Souza's competition speech, which was titled Good Enough. So let us put our hands together and welcome our Toastmaster, Thomas Chen. Over to you, Thomas.
Amazing day, ladies and gentlemen. Are you good enough? Today, John delivered a really powerful and impactful speech which shoot right through into our heart itself. And it is certainly more than good enough. Allow me to elaborate. Firstly, John had excellent vocal delivery. She spoke in a resounding and refreshing voice, audible to all of us. And not only that, she is able to exude and express the emotions she felt through her voice itself. The shock when she received the daughter's results, the hesitation when she was thinking whether she should accept it or not, and the pride when she finally accepted her daughter's passion itself. So using the vocal variety, she was able to express her feeling at this different point in time, and it breathed life into the speech. Well done on that, Joan. Secondly, she shared a story which is very close to her heart, right? Acceptance of her daughter's pursuing the passion itself. And by sharing a story which is close to her heart, a real life story, it helps the audience to connect with her on a more profound level. She showed us her vulnerabilities, her consideration, her thoughts, so that we as the audience could really connect with her on a deeper level. And finally, she shared about a topic that is truly relatable and applicable. Because right now, we live in a very competitive society where we are trying to compete with one another, where we are justifying ourselves through yardsticks itself. And hence, this speech is really very applicable for all of us because it is a timely reminder that at the end of the day, it is up to us to truly accept us and those around us. Very beautiful touch on that, Joan. Now, I would love to share with you some recommendations so that you can transform good to great. So firstly, Joan, it is about camera positioning. Because fortunately for you, you are slim and lean. If it was me with that camera positioning, everyone would see my double chin. But for you, what I would encourage you to do is to put the camera on eye level so you are able to engage the audience more effectively and you will be more comfortable with your hand gestures as well as your stage pacing. You do not need to keep looking down, which can be quite uncomfortable after quite a while. And secondly, what you can consider to do is to apply content to context so that we can relate to it better, right? So share with us instances that we may be doubting ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, do you doubt your abilities at work? Do you doubt your communication skills? Do you doubt your public speaking skills? Remember, at the end of the day, you are the one who set the yardstick. You are the one who set the standard. And it is up to you to accept yourself for who you are. So in summary, congratulations, Joan. You are an amazing speaker. I really love your vocal delivery and variety, which really brought out that emotions. It's a personal story close to your heart, a relatable topic. Consider to reposition the camera, apply content to context, and I'm sure this will transform into a masterpiece. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen.
Hey, Thomas, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the beautiful speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas Chen, for providing us such a wonderful, elaborate, and detailed evaluation for Toastmaster Joan D'Souza. Well, next up, we have our final and last evaluator, which is none other than Toastmaster Jennifer Lim. Jennifer, Friends call her hot mama, but she's really a very nice mama. She's a passionate person and she has various hobbies like dancing and singing. So Toastmaster Jennifer Lim will be evaluating Toastmaster Angela Lansbury's speech on help your country be multilingual. So without ado, let's welcome our final and last evaluator, Toastmaster Jennifer Lim.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, Club President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, and especially to you, Angela. I will evaluate you based on what you did well and what can be improved. At the beginning of your speech, Angela, you asked who could speak just 1, 2, or more languages. This way, you had already engaged your audience by asking them this question. The many slides you showed on screen are beautifully presented and captivated the audience, including me. You gave ways to learn a second language, example, through songs, signages. You also gave us the benefits and usefulness of learning another language, example, when you get lost in a country during an emergency or avoiding an embarrassing situation when you go to a male toilet instead of a female toilet. That was really embarrassing. Yeah, I don't think I want to be in that situation. It was an eye-opener for me when you recommended a book for foreign domestic worker and said that we could learn some foreign languages in this book. I didn't know that. Thank you for the recommendation. Your vocal variety is good and your language is easily understood. Your speech is motivational and it spurred me to learn another language, not just for emergency purposes, but also a good way to make friends from another country. Now the challenges, Angela, your title is Help Your Country Be Multilingual. I was looking for ways to help my country be multilingual, which wasn't there. Besides myself trying to learn a second language, you can tell us how our country can help us help the country be multilingual, which I don't see any. One person like me cannot help the country alone to be multilingual. In summary, your speech is motivational and inspirational and spurred me to learn another language. Do relate your speech to your title. Do tell us the ways we should do to help the country be multilingual. With this in mind, this will make your speech more engaging and interesting. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jennifer Lim, for providing us such a passionate and detailed, elaborate evaluation of Toastmaster Angela Lansbury's speech. Well, I was cut off halfway, but I can still feel the passion of her evaluation. Now, can we have the timer to read out the timings as I was kicked out of the Zoom due to technical issues?
Gladly, Toastmaster of the evening. So for Ahmad, the timing was 2 minutes and 44 seconds. For Thomas, the timing is 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And for Jennifer, the timing is 2 minutes and 54 seconds. All of them are eligible for voting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diraj, for providing us a wonderful report on the timings. Since everybody has qualified, let's start the polling. Please put in your votes for your best evaluator. Now there's 3 evaluators, so your decision should not be so difficult. If you apply the three theories, you will easily be able to come up with the winner, your choice.
What if it's all split down the middle though? Everybody just 33, 33, 33.
No worries, we have a back-end judging system. Yes, there's a tie. So the rest of you who have not voted, please put in your votes. We need to split the tie. So sometimes we need to have more than 3 theories. That's why people are stuck. Perhaps 4 or 5 evaluators would be better. So we have another 80 seconds. For the rest of you out there who have not voted, please key in your votes. The 20% of you out there. We have another 20 seconds. Who are the missing 20% who have not voted, or you totally can't decide? If you can't decide, you can try a method, mini, miny, mo. No, that was just a joke.
Maybe the missing one is not in the spot, not in their seat.
Could be, but never, no worries. Don't feel shy to put in your vote. Every vote counts. All right, time is up. Yes, finally, they've listened to me and decided to put in their vote. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone, every evaluator. We really appreciate your evaluation. You have given such wonderful evaluation speeches, and I hope the speakers will take in the evaluations and improve so that they can fly to the next level. All right. Now, the exciting part of this meeting is to announce the winners. I will first announce the winner for the best prepared speech. President is a tie. All right, because there's a tie, we will let the judges decide for who is the winner. We will go on to the next one. Best table topic speaker. Can we have the drum rolls, please? The winner is our guest. Oh, again, there's a tie. Oh my goodness.
Just all lah, just double winner lah.
All right, okay, we are so kind today. The first best prepared speaker will be Toastmaster Joan D'Souza and Angela Lansbury. Congratulations to the winners. And for the best table topic speaker, we have also a tie. People can't decide. And the winners are our guest, guest Yusuf, and our very own Toastmaster Thomas Chen. Congratulations. And our best evaluator. Oh, there was a tie earlier on. So finally, people have decided. And the winner is, can you give a very big drums roll, please? It's none other than our Toastmaster, Jennifer Lim. All right, congratulations to all winners. Thank you everybody for voting for your best speaker. Now I'd like to hand over to our club president for his closing speech.
What about our counter?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, I was too earnest to end the meeting. I would like to invite our counter Toastmaster, Noriko, to report for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Hi, guys, again. Today, this is my second time as an counter, and I've learned a lot from the counter roles because I tend to say, by myself, but I didn't notice by myself if someone said, "Hey, Noriko, you say 4 times and but I've noticed a lot when I listening, hearing your speeches and your speaking. So I've learned today a lot from our counter. Thank you very much. And here is my report. Alfred, Ahmed, 2 times R, and Lee, 4 times R, and Jen, 2 times so, and John, 4 times so. I think she tend to begin to speak so. So. I think she repeated 4 times. And I'm sorry, Diraj, is it right? Diraj, okay. 4 times and he tend to begin to speak and so he repeats 4 times, and that's all. Thank you. Back to Alicia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noriko, for such amazing work on your R report. And I hope everybody learns that everyone, including myself, have a favorite R word. But if you could cut down on your R and pauses, it could enhance your speech and improve your communication. Otherwise, sometimes people may misinterpret what you say. Now, next up will be our closing report by our dear club president, DTM Toastmaster, Willie Low. Over to you, Willie.
I do not want to say too much, but just a few lines. One lesson is that the result, a good theory should be testable, be cohesive, be economical, or be general. And explain no funny is that all these characteristics serve the primary function of a theory to be generative of new idea and new discovery. So what should you do if you are faced with let's take for example a coin. You have a head, you got a tail. And then both head and tail lead you to a decision you have to make. So what should you do? What should you do if you come make a decision? If it's Toastmaster related, give a call to your BPE Alicia Cha or Jennifer Lim. If it's your personal, talk to your friends because they might have a good answer that you may not have. Because sometimes we have to make a decision between a head and a tail, and both decisions will lead to a certain outcome. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Club President Willie Low. Now, Willie always tells us a lot of lessons to learn. So making decisions, I know it's very difficult. But if you're really stuck, he already mentioned, if it's Toastmaster, call me. If you can't reach me, call Willie, the club president. Yes, don't fear. He's always approachable, although he looks a bit fierce, but he's all right. Yes, decisions. Now, the other thing also I would like to say is, don't always call for help. The other thing you could do is you could procrastinate a bit, wait a bit while longer, and think it through. And again, use the 3 theories, or think thoroughly and decide. Then after that procrastination, if you still cannot decide, then you come and find me. I'm a friendly VPE there, all available for you. Now, can we get some feedback from our guests and members for tonight's meeting?
Alicia, it's like, don't call me, I call you. Like in an interview. Yes, guests, please give us your feedback. Who are the guests? Khalid, is it? Khalid Amin?
Yes, hello, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, we are all good, waiting for your feedback.
Well, there, thank you for having me. It was nice. I particularly enjoyed Angela's speech because I am into languages. I love languages. I think when you learn a language, you acquire another culture. I learned Spanish, French. I speak Arabic, English, all this in writing, reading, and speaking. I also know some other languages just talking, like Hindi, some Tagalog, and some Russian words and these kind of things. But when I learn a language, actually, I immerse myself in it. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I used to go and buy and read children's books. Things that I'm familiar with, I just read them in another language. Stories like Cinderella, for example. I already know the story, I've read it in another language, but I was reading it in Spanish, and it's so joyful. Language is very important because that brings you closer to people from other cultures. This was a wonderful meeting, and I want to thank everyone. And one more time, especially Angela, I enjoyed every minute of your speech. And I think this was not only inspiring, it was encouraging and, you know, enlightening. And I think we should have more speeches similar to the one you presented today. Great meeting. I wish I had the opportunity to speak on the table topics session because all the questions were wonderful. And I was able to tackle every single one of them. Unfortunately, I think you probably a big club, so I didn't get a chance. Hopefully in the next meeting. By the way, in case you don't know where I'm talking from, I am from Bahrain, but we rarely have rain here. So it's a little island in the Middle East, close to Dubai. I think Angela probably is familiar with this. Have you heard of Bahrain, Angela? Yeah, okay, you're muted. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything you said.
Come back to our next meeting and we'd love to hear you speak.
I would definitely like to come back if you keep reminding me. And one more piece of information. I am current president of a club in Bahrain, the oldest thriving club in the Middle East. The club was began in 1964. So today we are almost 57 years old. I invite you to join us if you like. We meet every first and third Saturday of the month. Our next meeting is this Saturday and we meet at 7 p.m. So it's a little bit late for you, probably 11 o'clock, I think, and our meeting is 2 hours. If you're interested, I will leave my email in the chat if it is still accessible. And I would love any one of you, if interested, just drop me a line and I will immediately ask our VPPR to send you the invitation. Thank you for having me. And okay, I wrote my email here. I don't know if I'm going over time. Do I have like 2 more minutes? I just want to say something.
Sure.
Yes,
okay,
short one,
okay.
1 minute.
Go ahead.
Okay, I liked all the topics. Where is the Kanan, the table topics master? I think he's not there anymore.
Maybe Kanan has to work because it's
okay.
US time. Yeah.
Okay, I cannot resist but to share this with you, okay? There was one question or one topic on the book or one book that you read and impacted your life. I would have answered this way. You know, the books actually that impacted my life are all the books which have not been written yet, because I look at each person as a book. So if your life is a book, so I encourage every one of you to think of writing something, your life experiences, your childhood, your successes, your failures. Write a book. Your life is a book. And my life has been impacted by the people I have met throughout my life. That's wonderful people. They are books in the writing. They are not finished yet. Those are the books that have impacted my life. And thank you for the opportunity again. Keep me on your list, the list of your guests, and I would be so happy to join you again.
All right,
and think of joining our club this Saturday as a guest.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Khalid, for the wonderful feedback. Can we have other feedbacks as well?
Is Daniel Nelson a guest as well?
Yes, guest.
Is Daniel there? Daniel?
I think
yes. Can you show us your video?
I apologize.
Yeah, and can you give us your feedback of our meeting?
Yes, the meeting was entertaining. It was well organized. I can see that it is quite multicultural, and I appreciate how together we are in our meeting. And if I were to join this club, I would be adding to that multiculturalism. And that is so because I'm from Jamaica. So I'm Jamaican, right? Right. So I've been looking for at prospective clubs because I'm interested in improving my communication, though I am a teacher and a presenter.
Okay.
And right. And from the list of available clubs, the Singaporean club did draw my attention because there tends to be a lot of parallel that is drawn between Jamaica and Singapore, given our historical backgrounds. Right. So I haven't settled on a club as yet. This is my first viewing, and the feedback, of course, would be that I was thoroughly impressed, and I can feel the warmth, and I thank you for that experience.
All right, Daniel, you'll be even more impressed when you come back next Friday, because we are going to have a mini workshop by our very own Toastmaster international speaker, Thomas Chen, on listening. So we'll be happy to see you again next Friday. And so you can attend and find out more about our club, right?
Okay, well, the day may be a challenge because of my schedule, and then also the time, because it's 10:45 a.m. here, so it depends on my work schedule.
All right.
I was free today and that is why I joined.
No
But
worries.
I will
If you can't make it, we are on YouTube. You just have to search for our club. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I like to add, we have our meeting every Friday that starts at 9 p.m. Singapore time. So you can join us as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, how about our own members?
Yes, I will. I was actually looking forward to Lee Barkley's workshop.
Yes, I know all our members were looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But as Murphy's law says, anything bad can happen will happen because we are totally 100% online club. So sometimes the internet, you may have issues with internet connectivity, which our speaker had due to bad weather over in Australia, Sydney. Her internet was down and she had to call the telco technician to come over and fix it, but it couldn't be fixed in time. So unfortunately, I have to disappoint so many of our members, right? And because of that, I have to step in, but we are a dynamic club, so no worries. We react to things dynamically. But nevertheless, do not be disappointed. Please PM me or send to me by WhatsApp all your questions on Toastmos and meeting protocol, right? Send me the questions that you have always wanted to ask, but too shy to ask because you may think it's a stupid question, but it's not. We take your questions seriously. We want to help you to build the foundation skills so that you can be a better speaker without fear of technology. Now, do send me all your questions. I'm going to compile them and send to our trainer, Lee Barkley, so that we have a better training, a more effective training. Thank you, Angela, for sending your question. So I hope the rest of our members will send me the questions through WhatsApp. Feel free to send me. No question is a stupid question.
Alicia, I think we have another guest, right? Yusuf Chandra.
Oh yeah, Yusuf. Where are you?
Yusuf Chandra. Can you give us your feedback on our meeting, Yusuf? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Alicia, when is the reschedule for the Lee Barkley workshop?
Next Friday.
Oh, together with Thomas?
Yes, we will try to reschedule the meeting in the sense of we might not have table topic, or we might have a speaker, speakings and evaluator only. Let's see how.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I say next Friday will be quite exciting.
Yep, Yusuf. Yeah.
Yes.
You are a guest, right? Are you a Toastmaster?
Yes, I'm a Toastmaster.
From which club in Indonesia?
From Maranatha University Toastmasters Club in Bandung.
Okay, so please give us your feedback on our meeting.
It's a great meeting. I love every single moment of the meeting. It's really dynamic. You are great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we are dynamic speaker, dynamic club, therefore it's dynamic.
Right.
Yeah, so watch out for more dynamite.
Yeah.
If there's no more feedback, I would like to close the meeting. So we'll see all of you next Friday. Thank you and have a pleasant and fantastic weekend ahead.
Thank you.